Have you ever wondered who the hell is this chicken? And what the hell is this thing? Well, you've come to the right place. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jay the Storyteller and I'm going to go through the story of the game Black Myth Wukong with you guys. Today we'll be looking at Chapter 4, Rosy Cheek, Grey Hair. Like always, I'll talk about how the game was related to the original Journey to the West story and the story of the game itself. For the record, this chapter is very complicated and there were schemes behind schemes behind schemes. So in order to understand the story fully, I'll only focus on the main story and the main characters. Hopefully it can help you guys understand the story a little better. Well, without further ado, let's begin. Before we start, let's talk about our good uncle, Zhu Bajie, because you know this chapter is about his love story. Bajie used to be a celestial god. He was the admiral of the celestial marine, you know, quite a high position. One day he got drunk on a celestial feast, barged into the lunar palace, and tried to harass a Chang'e. Well, can you blame him? Chang'es are the goddess living on the moon, famous for their beauty. Well, if it was me, this show would be banned. Yeah, boy. Of course, the Jade Emperor was angry and he was cast out of the celestial court, thrown down to the mortal realm and reincarnated. But his reincarnation went wrong and he became the pig guy he was. A horny pig, I may add. And Bodhisattva Guanyin selected him to protect Tamang as his atonement, just like Wukong. And one day at a place called the Gao village, a local rich family, the Gao family, was looking for a proper husband for their youngest daughter, Gao Cuilan. As a horny pig, Bajie signed up for it. He was a hell of a labor and really impressed Mr. and Mrs. Gao. The only bad thing was that he ate too much, but that was fine. Soon, he married their youngest daughter, Gao Cuilan. You know, everything was going well and then everyone was happy. Then you just know that something will go wrong. Dude was drunk and revealed his true identity, a pig guy. Then you know, everyone just panicked. Eventually, he forcefully took Gao Cuilan and locked her up. And noticed that Gao Cuilan wasn't actually his wife in the game, you know, the violet spider. It was this girl in the ending animation who feared him once he showed his true nature. Anyway, back to the journey. After hearing the story, Wukong and Tamang offered to help. Wukong asked Gao Cuilan to leave and he would stay here to deal with the pig guy. By the way, even though he was a horny pig, Bajie still had some principles, as he wouldn't break into the room without his wife's permission, and that's how the lady stayed unharmed. And please just allow me to show you the clip of how Wukong catfished Bajie, because it's just hilarious and epic.
那你就进来吧。
好，这太好了，来了。娘子，我老朱在这儿有礼了。啊？啊！娘子，你吹灯干什么？黑灯瞎火的，我老朱看不见你。
郎君
啊，
我在这儿呢。
啊，娘子，你既然已经答应我了，你还躲什么？啊？啊？
你长得那么丑，我害怕你。
娘子，我是丑了点儿，要好看还不容易，只是变来变去的太麻烦。再说，妻不嫌夫丑，我看就这么着吧。好。
Looking familiar, doesn't it?
I do miss the old days too. We were so happy back then.
Yep, Bajie learned his catfish trick from his brother Wukong. That's just hilarious. But anyway, let's just continue.
哎呦！
你只管做夫妻，也不管人家心里烦恼。
娘子，你烦恼些什么啊？娘子，你还有哪些不顺心的啊？
你整天云来雾去，不知是哪里人家，什么来历？
我早跟丈人说了，我叫朱刚烈，家住福林山云栈洞。你今儿个又怎么想问这个来了？娘子，你看，都夜深人静了，咱们还是早点安歇了吧？娘子啊，你好大的力气，是不是嫌我来迟了？
还想做夫妻呢？我爹今天请了法师前来想你呢。
什么？法师？我不怕。就是你爹请下9天荡魔祖师来，他也不敢把我怎么样。
我爹说了，他今天请的是500年前大闹天宫的7天大圣前来想你。
啊，7天大圣？娘子，这是真的？
真的。
哎呀，坏了，坏了，坏了！哎呀，我得回去。
回来。你别走啊。
娘子，你不知道啊，那闹天宫的弼马温有些本事，我怕弄不过他，坏了名声啊。我得先回洞府去。我日后再来呀。
郎君，你怎么舍下我一个人就走啊？
哎呀，那可怎么办呢？
我跟你一块儿去。
啊？好，这太好了！娘子，走。
我可走不了路啊。
我背着你啊。
郎君，你的洞府到底在哪儿啊？
娘子，你别急，再走1程就到了。
还有多远呢？
你别问了。娘子，你怎么这么重了呀？
你背不动我了。
背得动，背得动。
And finally, Bajie realized he was catfished by Wukong. Of course, he couldn't outrun Wukong, and then they went on a short battle. Now, pay attention to his weapon here. It's called the Nine-Toothed Reek, crafted by the Supreme Lord Lao, one of the 3 Qing supreme gods of Taoism. So it's not just a regular reek, in case you want to know about it. Anyway, during their conversation, Wukong realized that the pig guy was also selected by Bodhisattva Guan Yin to protect Tang Monk on the journey to the west, and he took him back to see Tang Monk. By the way, the pig had 2 monk names, Bajie, given by Bodhisattva Guan Yin, and Wu Neng, given by the Tang Monk. And that's the story of Zhu Bajie in the journey and how he joined the journey game. Now that we know who is Zhu Bajie, let's talk about what happened here at the Webbed Hollow in the journey. One day at the village, the Tang Monk saw a little cabin, so he said to his disciples, "It's always you guys go get food. This time I'll do it. It's just right there. I got this." The gang couldn't argue with him, so there he goes. Then he met 7 pretty ladies. Yes, as you can guess, they're spider guys. But Tang Monk didn't know that. He was like, "Man, may this humble monk get some food from you guys, please?" Then the ladies kindly invited him to go into their home for food, of course. In the novel, the ladies had a nice little chat with Tang Monk and even cooked him a meal. It sounds nice, right? Well, it would be nicer if they weren't cooking with human flesh and human grease. Yep, the Yao Guai secret recipe, only for $2.99. Of course, Tang Monk refused to eat it, which pissed off the Yao Guais. And plus, they already know that he was the Tang Monk from the conversation they had earlier. So they captured him with their threads, because rumors said that Tang Monk's meat can grant immortality. That's why most Yao Guais in the journey either wanted to eat him or to fuck him, to get his meat or his meat.
Yeah, boy.
Back to the disciples, they knew something was wrong as the master was gone for too long. So Wukong decided to go check it out. In the novel, he summoned the keeper and he asked about the Yaoguais. The keeper told him where to find the Yaoguais, as they would usually go bath at this hour. And Wukong did find them bathing in the pond. How the hell did you know, you old pervert? Well, of course, Wukong wasn't into the sexual stuff, so he decided to steal their clothes to trap them in the pond. In the novel, he was gonna kill the Yaoguais, but there was an old saying, decent men don't bully the women. So he was like, nah, not gonna kill them. It will hurt my reputation. And you might be wondering, how would stealing their clothes trap them in the pond? Well, in the ancient times, Chinese people took the chastity of women very seriously. Women could never show their body, not even their arms, to other men except their husbands. And Yaoguais transformed into human forms were also bound to this moral. And plus, in the novel, they were completely naked in the pond, so this would work, at least for a while. Then Wukong returned to the gang with women clothes. Bajie was like, big bro, where did you go? The brothel? He told them what happened and suggested to go rescue the master. Of course, Bajie was excited. He was like, big brother monkey, we can't leave any loose end. The Yaoguais might still cause trouble. Here, let me go take him out while you go rescue master. As you can imagine, this horny pig was like, ma'am, it's too hot today. Can I join you for a nice little bath? The ladies rejected, but he still went for it. Skinny dipping, woo! Then he transformed into a catfish, just like in the ending animation, and was taking advantages of the ladies, swimming in between their legs and stuff. The TV show didn't quite show it because it was all age appropriate, but you get the idea.
Yeah, boy.
Then he switched to his mean face and tried to kill the ladies. But he was a noob and got trapped by the threats too. Well, at least he got what he came for. The spiders knew they were in trouble, so they fled, leaving Tom Monk behind. By the way, the pond that the spiders bathed in was called the Purifying Spring, you know, where we fought Zhu Bajie in the game. In the novel, this was the bathing place of the 7 fairies of the Celestial Court. But the fairies stopped showing up after the 7 spider guys came. Interesting, huh? Anyway, as the Yaoguais fled, they got Tom Monk and moved on. Then the gang stopped by a Taoist temple, the Yellow Flower Temple. And the master of the temple, as you can probably guess, is the 100 Eye, a centipede guy. He was with the spider guys, and the spiders fled to the temple and told him what happened. He decided to poison the gang to get revenge for his sisters, as well as getting Tom Monk. Wukong was cautious, but the others were poisoned, so naturally they started fighting. He had many eyes that could shoot powerful lasers. You know, that was why he was called the 100 Eye. Just like in the game, the lasers gave Wukong quite a hard time, and he retreated. Then he saw an old lady burning paper money by the road. Burning paper money is a Chinese ritual to honor the dead, as you wouldn't want your loved ones to go to the underworld broke, right? This tradition started in late Han Dynasty, and we still do it today. But as time moved on, our offerings also moved on. You know, like rollies, mansions, and even tanks and private jets. You know, all for the sake of our ancestors and loved ones, hoping they live good down there.
Nice.
But anyway, back to the story. Wukong saw the old lady and joined her in burning money. The old lady was like, are you mocking me? I'm burning money for my late husband who had been poisoned by the centipede guy. Wukong was like, well, I'm burning for my master and my brothers. They are poisoned and they are gonna die. I do it just in case. Nah, the old lady was actually the lady of Li Mountain, a celestial god. She did all that to help Wukong. She told Wukong that he can go to the Purple Cloud Mountain and get help from the Bodhisattva Pilanpo, there where Bodhisattva Pilanpo lived in. This scene sounds quite familiar, doesn't it? In the game, we too ran into a character like this, mourning for her late husband, but in fact was helping us. I guess this is the daughter of Lady of Li Mountain. I'll talk about why when we go into the game more. Bodhisattva Pilanpo is the mother of Dawnstar, one of the 28 constellation deities, aka the Mao Ri rooster. Yeah, this chicken, just like Kangjing star in the chapter 3. I've talked about the 28 constellation deities in my last video, so if you're interested, please go check it out. It was quite long, but it was very informational. So what happened to the Dawnstar? How did the celestial god become like this? Well, we'll talk about that later. Pilanpo had a very powerful vessel, the Weaver's Needle. It was crafted in the Dawnstar's eye, which is why it could be empowered by his body in the game. With the Weaver's Needle, the 100-Eye was beaten. In the novel, he was a backstabbing bastard, hiding in his temple, trying to take Tang Monk for his own, and leaving the 7 spider guys outside of the temple and getting killed by Wukong. And he stabbed them in the back again in the game. What a douchebag. In the end, the 100-Eye was taken back by Bodhisattva Pilanpo as a god of her mountain, and the 7 spider guys were all killed by Wukong in the novel. And that's what happened here in the journey. Obviously, game science changed the story a little bit. In the game, it was Bajie who killed all the spider guys, and he spared one, the violet spider, for obvious reason. Now that we've covered the background story of the chapter, let's look into it. Chapter 4, Rosy Cheeks, Gray Hair. In order to help you understand this chapter better, let's focus on the 100-Eye and who was behind him.
This, along with those relics inside him, shall free me of Kunlun's reign.
This line contained a lot of information. First of all, Mount Kunlun is a very important mountain in Chinese mythology because the Queen Mother lived there. Yup, the Queen Mother of the Celestial Court, the Jade Emperor's wife, the leader of all goddesses. And it's safe to say that she's behind all this, because the violet spider was obviously a fairy of the Celestial Court under Queen Mother's charge. And in the game, the violet spider and 100-Eye called each other brothers and sisters, suggesting that they both serve the Queen Mother. So what is going on here? What's their scheme? Well, the truth involves the Celestial Court. For countless years, this had been the range of the Celestial Court. The court would take the Yaoguais here and make pills with their essences. And this bird, the Crane Immortal, is running everything here for the court. They built a prison with the pagodas at the ruins to trap everyone inside. That's why the fourth sister said this, because they were trapped inside and she'd never been out of the mountain.
What's it like out there? Beyond these mountains?
I'll show you, darling. Please don't die. So who is the fourth sister? My guess is that she was in love with the previous destined one, and they were gonna marry. And that's why there were lanterns here screaming big day. In the game, in Chinese, they said 大喜, and this word is only used in wedding ceremonies, nothing else. So it's obvious. She helped us because of love, and the treasures that we found were actually her dowry. She gave them to us without hesitation, even though we might not remember her. Also, she helped us many times in the game when we were in tough situations and never even claimed the credit. Even when she was in danger, she still thought about us first and told us to run. Okay, my lady. Just kidding. The fourth sister was clever and she found out about the prison. But obviously she wasn't able to tear down the talisman. And also she didn't want us to get involved in this scheme. The smile, man. What more can you ask from a lady? And that's why she was taken by the Crane Immortal. She just knew too much, and the Crane will make her into pills. Something like this. By the way, this Supreme Inspector was the most trusted god of Jade Emperor. He monitors all the gods and takes care of all dirty works for the Emperor. So he was like the FBI. And the hand on his neck, it belonged to the Jade Emperor. Now we know what the Emperor was up to. Let's talk about the Queen Mother. Her exact words: they've taken too much profit. This time, our principle and interest must be taken back. So the Queen Mother, representing Kunlun, a powerful force, also wanted a piece of this. Unlike the Celestial Court, their scheme is to breed the Amoran worms as a tool to manipulate the gods, Yaoguais, etc. They even killed Bodhisattva Pilanpo and took her hands to breed the worms. They put the worm cocoons inside the hand, then they hatched out. Hence the right hand worm we fought in the game. As for the left hand, it was eaten by the frog. Well done, Froggy! And that's why the Dawn Star went missing in chapter 3. He came back to look for his mother, but was defeated and captured by the 100-Eye. The 100-Eye planted a golden cocoon inside of him. Then he became this crazy rooster he was, the Duskville. That's just sad, man. A worried son came back looking for his mother. The mother was already dead, and the son got captured and twisted at his mom's place. That's just too depressing. That's why the pretty snake, Hong Yi, asked us to end his suffering. In the portrait, she was most likely to be the daughter of Lady of Li Mountain, a close friend of Bodhisattva Pilanpo. So she and the Dawn Star were close childhood friends. She couldn't do it, so she asked us to kill him. My deepest condolences. Now that's why this game was called Black Myth. Shits are just too dark. Another key character in this chapter is Violet Spider, Bajie's wife. who used to be a celestial fairy. She fell in love with Bajie at first sight, and that love was so intense that she followed him when he got cast out to the mortal realm and became the spider guy she was. So why did she become a spider? Well, it's not official, but there's a theory I think that makes sense. In Mandarin, spider sounds exactly the same as a pig. Spider is 蜘蛛 and the pig is 一蜘蛛. So the poor little fairy followed her love after he was cast out and reincarnated as a pig. But obviously she heard it wrong. He became 一蜘蛛, not 蜘蛛. But it doesn't matter. Love is love. After reunited, the two finally got together. Such a beautiful scene. But as you know, Bajie had a job to do, so he went on to the journey. Well, he really didn't have a choice because he was to be atoned, and he had to finish the journey. Well, fortunately, they had a daughter, the sixth sister. Now notice that only the sixth sister was their daughter, and the other sisters were adopted by the violet spider, left by the other spider guys, and they called themselves the Zhu family. Poor lady, she did everything she could to follow her love. In their plan, they were gonna get us, the destined ones, through Zhu Bajie, but she just couldn't harm Bajie. And Bajie, on the other hand, broke her heart again and again and again, even though all she ever wanted was a proper wedding. Then we know the rest of the story. The plan failed and the 100 Eyes stabbed her in the back again. Well, it was all part of the scheme, because in the portrait, the Queen Immortal once told him that the Jade Emperor knew what the Queen Mother was up to and decided not to interfere out of respect. But once it's done, they will have to stay. The spiders. The court wanted their cores to make pills, and the 100 Eye also had his own scheme. He wanted to take all the relics inside of us to break free from the ring of Kunlun. In other words, the Queen Mother. Just like in the journey, he used the annoying gold lasers. Fortunately, the Venom Taoist, Wulong, the centipede of the Main Mountain Brothers, sent here by Erlang to help us, guided us to find the key vessel, the Weaver's Needle. So the gold laser wasn't really a trouble for us. Again, thank you, Big Brother Erlang. After defeating the 100 Eye, we were able to get Bajie's wife, the Violet Spider, but she was dying as the 100 Eye took Wukong's relic out of her, and Bajie couldn't even look at his wife. My guess is he was technically now against the Celestial Court by helping Wukong and the Destined One. So if he really went back to his family, who knew what the court would do to them? You've seen what happened to the other family in chapter 5, right? So he had to stay away in order to protect them. But he wasn't all that heartless, because we can see the lotus was full here, and the one that we got was missing a seed. Obviously, our sneaky uncle stole one to save his wife, which is perfectly fine. Go do it. And like always, enjoying the beautiful animation, guys.
月光在西边的城楼，
思念是眉间的药，
愿念念望相思，寻常最长久。
汹涌如潮流。
Okay, let's pause here for a second. No one knows who is this handsome guy, and not even the producer of the game. Game Science hired an animation studio to work on this scene, and the studio insisted to keep this scene and keep this mysterious man, but they never explained who the hell is this guy. And the studio even offered 20% off of the whole animation. So Game Science was like, alright, fine, let's keep it. So his identity really remained a mystery. So we called him the 20% off God. Anyway, let's continue.
有你相伴，
这一路多么多么自由。
云卷
云舒
风起，
一种
从
立春到立秋，在那一刻我爱上你的所有。忘了是心田的狗，
吉他，是老套的酒，
只因是相拥无言。
愿天黑花当你，总归说不够。
相伴这一路，多么无忧。
玩耍
朝露
昙花，
苍狗
黑
也不过白昼。
听错了风，又怎么会有以后？
飘摇似轻舟。放手这一路，可怜了有多久？
欢喜
或真爱中绽放，或者不是，永远无分下一世莫回眸。
真情
满流
假意
为狗。
相守，
今生有求，
下一世相遇，
请别再会。
With that beautiful animation, that brings us to the end of this chapter. Like I said, this chapter was very complicated and there were a lot of schemes going on. You know, Kunlun, so the celestial court, the range and everything. You know, that's why it was called the Black Myth. But I really like what Game Science did to Zhu Bajie though. The love story was beautiful and I'm really glad that Game Science added this part. But anyway, I'm Jay the Storyteller and thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, it will mean a lot to me. Guys, you know it's almost the Chinese New Year, you know, which is why I'm wearing all red. And I just wanted to say thank you for all your support and all your suggestions. It really meant a lot to me. Thank you. 诸位，过年好 Happy Chinese New Year. Again, I'm Jay the Storyteller. Thank you again for watching this video. And in the future, I'll keep making the good videos. Hopefully you guys like it. And again, I'm Jay the Storyteller, and thank you again for watching this video. 知后事如何？欲知后事如何，且听下回分解。